Right now, after a fire displaces several people from their homes, how the Janesville community is now helping get them back on their feet. Plus, our coverage leading up to the Republican National Convention continues. What State Republican Party Chair Brian Schimming is saying about the current status of the party. And later, we take a look at how young voters are having an impact on politics ahead of the 2024 election. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. And good evening. We begin with President Biden expected to speak to the press, follow his NATO address any moment now. Once the president is about to speak, CBS will break in with a special report, and we will be taking his comments in their entirety when they begin. Well, multiple agencies are now helping those affected by a Monday apartment fire in Janesville. All residents in the 26-unit building were displaced. Our Ellie La Liberte has more from Rock County.
More than 10 different organizations filled the new job center here in Janesville today. The goal is to help those who were impacted by that fire recover. The event gives those displaced by the fire recovery plans and help with paperwork. Volunteers are also helping with groceries and health care. It took about 50 firefighters from multiple different departments to get the fire under control. But the community is ready to help with what the Red Cross is calling a one-stop shop.
They have jobs, they have, different things that they have to do. Being able to get it all done in one place, it makes it so much more convenient for the clients, and it gets them that much faster on the road to recovery.
Many different volunteers also came out to help today.
It's nice to be able to just give a little bit of myself to maybe make a difference in somebody else's life or day even. It's nice to work with the other groups of people that are here today too, just to feel that camaraderie and that like-minded people want to help out.
The Red Cross is primarily asking for financial donations for the time being. Reporting in Janesville, Ellie La Liberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. There are also GoFundMe accounts set up to help some of the residents. Several of them say they lost everything in that fire. You can find more information on how to help on our website, channel3000.com. Madison police are investigating after an 84-year-old man's specialty tricycle was stolen from his garage. According to police, the theft occurred last week around 4 p.m. at a home on Marinette Trail. A neighbor says they saw someone take the tricycle before heading south. Now, here is what that tricycle may look like. It is a blue 2021 Rally TriStar 3. It has a wire basket between the back two tires. The man also attached a bucket to the tricycle to allow him to collect litter while riding. Anyone who has seen the tricycle or who has any information on the theft is asked to contact Madison Area Crime Stoppers 608-266-6014. A Portage man could face nearly 20 charges after officers say they found drugs in an apartment. Portage police executed search warrants in the 900 block of Klemp Street earlier this week. Officers say they found cocaine, fentanyl, meth, LSD, and THC, among others, that had a street value of over $375,000. 41-year-old Jeffrey Chappell Jr. was arrested. He could face 16 felony counts and 3 misdemeanors, including child neglect and domestic battery. To Milwaukee, where Devontae Mitchell is laid to rest today. Witness cell phone video shows multiple Hyatt Regency hotel personnel pinning down the 43-year-old Mitchell with their hands and knees as he appeared to beg for help. First responders found Mitchell unresponsive. When they arrived at the scene, he was later pronounced dead. Milwaukee police say the incident started when Mitchell entered the hotel, caused a disturbance, and fought with the security guards as they escorted him out. Mitchell's sister and other family members say the father of 2 was suffering from mental health issues. The Reverend Al Sharpton delivered Mitchell's eulogy.
When I heard what happened to your son, people ask me, why do I get involved? Because the only difference between Devontae and any of us is they didn't grab us yet. This man did nothing for what he got. And we all need to stand up for him, so we stand up for ourselves.
Hyatt is now calling for the employees who work for hotel operator Aimbridge Hospitality to face criminal charges. The Milwaukee County DA's office says it is awaiting a full autopsy, but is reviewing the case as a potential homicide. We're heating up for the weekend. Return of storm chances as well. Your first one forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington on the patio. Alex?
Eric, out here in the patio right now, it's actually pretty comfortable now that the sun is setting. Our temperatures are falling a little bit. enjoy this comfortable evening and a relatively comfortable Friday while it lasts. We have very, very different conditions heading to southern Wisconsin. 60 degrees to start off. Friday morning could be looking at a little bit of patchy fog. Again, those temperatures slowly working their way down. Then alert day conditions expected to develop as Saturday evolves. Hot, humid air building into southern Wisconsin with a threat of severe storms Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, in addition to very, very warm and very, very humid conditions with heat index values potentially approaching 100 degrees. And this is why you've got upper 80s, lower 90s Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in the combination with the dew point. That's the muggy meter. The dew point is a measure of moisture, and we could be looking at dew point values in the middle to upper 70s. And that doesn't happen very often in southern Wisconsin. It's that combination that brings heat index values, the feels like factor to your body, of 100 to 100 degrees plus. That could occur Sunday afternoon. We could be flirting with that Saturday afternoon and then repeating this all over again on Monday. Right now, 82 in Madison, 85 in Bosqueville, 81 to the north and west towards Camp Douglas. This is what we should be having for this time of year, lower 80s across southern Wisconsin, right around 80. No storms here in Madison, but keeping an eye on a cell just to the north and west on the southern part of Juneau County, right near Mauston. We saw this shower flare on up, so some heavy downpours not out of the question if you're driving up near Mauston or if you're tuning in near Mauston. But that's few and far between, not expecting much in the way of any shower and storm activity widespread today and Friday, but that changes Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Could be looking at several lines of severe thunderstorms in addition to the heat and Maine weather. We will track those lines of storms.
All right, Alex, thank you. In just a few days, Wisconsin will be the center of the political world. That's because the Republican National Convention will be held in Milwaukee starting on Monday, and that's where we find political reporter Will Keneally, who has more on what we might see and hear next week.
Yeah, it's actually a week from tonight exactly that Republicans will nominate former President Donald Trump to be their nominee for this November's ballot. And this comes amid continued questions about the future of President Joe Biden's campaign. We caught up with State Republican Party Chair Brian Schimming, who had this to say.
Think about this in context, too, not just our nomination, but the whole scope of what's going on between the two parties. They are stuck with Joe Biden until he unsticks himself, if he does. So given the choice of two situations, I love being in the one that Republicans are in right now.
But there are still a handful of open questions for Republicans heading into next week's convention, namely who will be their pick for vice president. Now, we'll have full live coverage from Milwaukee next week, but until then, reporting from Milwaukee, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Meanwhile, more young voters are engaging in politics than ever before, but the ballot isn't the only place they're making their voices heard. Our Maddie Heimsch has the story from Milwaukee.
Next week, many will view Milwaukee as the gathering space for the Republican National Convention. But for UW Milwaukee students, this political hotspot is just called campus.
The Students for Democratic Society, we believe in taking the streets. We believe in direct action, and that's why we're taking the streets this July 15th.
Adari Tomeo is the co-chair of the UW Milwaukee chapter of Students for a Democratic Society. He's one of the hundreds planning to march at the RNC next week and one of the 40 million Gen Zs eligible to vote in this year's presidential election.
I think politics is part of everyday life. You can't, take the two apart. A week after my 18th birthday was, the first time I got to vote. And since then, it was clear that, we need something more than just putting our names in a ballot box to, affect change.
According to Tufts University, young people are lining up at the polls in record numbers in recent presidential elections. Youth turnout soared from 39% voting in 2016 to 50% voting in 2020. This year, 57% of youth say they're, quote, extremely likely to cast a November ballot.
So the issues in terms of inequality and access and climate and the sort of changing realities of everyday life are much more salient to youth, because in order to make their American dream a reality, that things have to change.
Experts say it's issues like the cost of living, wages, gun violence prevention, climate change, and abortion that are bringing youth to the polls and to the streets.
I was born at the right time, and I think a lot of people say I should have been born in the 60s, 70s, and no, right now is the right time. I think for so many of my peers to be taking the streets now, I think it shows that we're heading in the right direction.
Several chapters of Students for a Democratic Society nationwide plan to join the UW Milwaukee chapter next week. Reporting in Milwaukee, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. News 3 Now will be in Milwaukee, of course, next week with extensive coverage of the Republican National Convention starting Monday morning. We'll have special guests, interviews, and more over the 4-day event. And don't forget to download our Channel 3000 News app for the latest news there as it happens. Just search Channel 3000 in your app store. The Wisconsin Democracy Campaign celebrating last week's decision to reinstate the use of ballot drop boxes. The group hosted an Unlock the Box rally this afternoon after last week's 4-3 decision by the state Supreme Court to reverse its 2022 near total ban on ballot drop boxes. It's a decision they say paves the way for more eligible voters to easily and conveniently participate in the election process.
There's so much to be jaded about when you have so many that are trying to suppress votes, so many that want to make sure that there are people that get to sit on the sidelines and don't get to participate in democracy. And yet these people wake up every single day and they don't quit. And I want people around the country to see the progress that's happening here in Wisconsin, because we are a story and a message of hope.
Absentee voting surged in popularity during the pandemic. By spring of 2021, there were 570 drop boxes in place in 66 of Wisconsin's 72 counties. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 6, the end of an era for physical rentals. Plus, there's good news for consumers when it comes to the price of goods. What newly released data from the Consumer Price Index is showing. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
At Gruber Law Offices, we know how to win. Real cases, real results. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your child's confidence stems from learning and seeing clearly. At Shopko Optical, our professional team will help your child start their journey of confidence by providing quality eye care in a warm and comfortable environment. Schedule their back-to-school exam at shopko.com.
It's Black Friday in July at Steinhoffel's. Get amazing deals on closeouts and bonus buys, like buy one, get one swivel stools. This queen bed, $649. A family-sized dining table, only $699. Plus, save up to $1,300 on select patio collections. And make your new room more affordable when you use Steinhoffel's 18-month financing. Steinhoffel's Black Friday in July sale. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Nobody wants to replace the roof, but these days many roofs are only lasting 10 to 15 years, costing you tens of thousands of dollars. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. RoofMax treatments, started early enough, can extend the life of your roof by 15 years or more. And even if you think your roof is at the end of its life, 90% of the time, RoofMax can extend the life of your roof by 5 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
Everyone's vision needs are unique. At Shopko Optical, our caring team of professionals will work with you to ensure your vision is at its best. Shopko Optical can help you experience every detail, color, and breathtaking sight in clarity.
Milwaukee hosts the Republican National Convention, and News 3 Now brings you team coverage as Battleground Wisconsin grabs the national spotlight. Campaign 2024 GOP Convention coverage live from Milwaukee, starting Monday on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
There may be some encouraging news when it comes to inflation. Consumer prices dropped in June, and while the drop is small, it is still a significant one. While prices dropped 0.1% from May to June, it is the very first time there's been a month-to-month drop since way back in May of 2020. That change fueled in part by falling gas prices as well as new and used car prices. This, along with last week's jobs market report, could mean the Federal Reserve may begin cutting interest rates as early as September.
One in a row is not a streak. We need to see more of that in months ahead. But I think we're hopeful now, just because we're starting to see signs now that we haven't seen for the past few years.
We'll get our next look at the state of inflation on August 14th. That's when the Consumer Price Index for July will be released. It is the end of the line for Redbox. The DVD kiosk rental business is shutting down after its parent company converted its bankruptcy to Chapter 7 liquidation. Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, which owns Redbox, was nearly $1 billion in debt and owes millions of dollars to several entertainment companies. Variety reports the company's 1,000 employees are losing their jobs without any severance or extended benefits. Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment failed to pay employees and vendors for at least 4 weeks prior to its Chapter 11 filing last month. Still ahead, a local car show looks to raise money for the Dane County Humane Society. Plus, many people believe the bald eagle is America's national bird, but it actually is not. How a newly proposed bill is looking to change that. And some hot temperatures are coming for the weekend. Alex is back with a complete forecast after the break.
If you're interested in installing a solar system this year, listen up. We only have a few available spots remaining in 2024. Scan the QR code on your screen now to save your spot so you can get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
This famous wood fence from the show Home Improvement had to have boards replaced 13 times in only 9 years. Our fences outlast wood 3 to 1 and are all backed by our extensive lifetime warranty. This month, save $1,000 on your project. Visit the website or call the number for your new fence today.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Sup? You need some windows?
Howdy. Oh, you need windows. Yes, you do.
Hey folks, you call the experts? Increase your curb appeal and save big this summer with free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 5 years. And we'll get it done Feldco fast. Free installation ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sonobello Permanent Fat Removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's biggest sale of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
If you're interested in installing a solar system this year, listen up. We only have a few available spots remaining in 2024. Scan the QR code on your screen now to save your spot so you can get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The bald eagle has been a representation of American freedom and patriotism ever since the early years of our nation. But a recently proposed bill is looking to give the bird a new title. Allison Fergott has the story.
When you ask people what the national bird is of the United States, there's one common answer. The bald eagle.
Bald eagle?
The bald eagle?
But it's not that simple.
We don't have a national bird.
Really?
Yeah, surprising for you to hear that.
That is surprising.
The bald eagle was designated as the national symbol in 1782.
You can see them on some flags. You can see them on, like, military. You can see them on jets.
And for over 200 years, people assumed the bald eagle also served as our nation's bird.
That should have been done many years ago.
Preston Cook is arguably the bald eagle's biggest fan, recently donating his extensive collection of eagle memorabilia to the National Eagle Center in Wabasha. He's even written a book about the bird, leading him to make a shocking discovery.
I was looking for an entry in the chronology of when the bald eagle became our national bird. Couldn't find it. It doesn't exist. It is not our national bird. America has no national bird right now.
But thanks to him, that could change soon.
Last year, I wrote a bill.
That bill was presented to U.S. House Representative member Brad Finstad. And in June, Representative Finstad brought the bill to Congress to officially designate the bald eagle as our national bird.
It's an assumed thing already, so let's just make it a law, the law of the land.
The bill is already getting bipartisan support.
Have had, unanimous support as I've talked to folks once they understand that we don't have that designation yet for the bald eagle.
And the public is behind it too.
Nothing screams America more than the bald eagle.
ProClip USA says its 7th annual car show will raise money for Dane County Humane Society. Held at Boulevard in Madison, the car show will raise money to help DCHS provide refuge, healing, and new beginnings to thousands of animals. Since its inception, the show has raised over $15,000 for DCHS. The car show will boast over 150 cars ranging from classic hot rods, antiques, luxury exotics, and more. It's free to the public, but exhibitors must pay $10 per car. The show then runs from 10 to 2 that day. Storm chances increase starting Saturday. Alex now with our complete forecast.
Indeed, yes, Eric. Let's start off with the good stuff, though, before the storm chances and the heat move into southern Wisconsin, and that's refreshing temperatures. We'll start off on your Friday morning, right around 60 degrees. Friday will also feature some patchy fog to start the day, so be prepared in the morning. You might have to slow things down just a little bit. That patchy fog will burn off quickly on Friday. It will be a warm day, but not near as warm as what we're expecting Saturday through Monday. And in the combination of the warm temperatures on Saturday and heat index values pushing 100 and the chance of severe weather on Saturday, we're adding Saturday as part of the trio of alert day conditions Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. This is what we're up against by the time we get into Sunday afternoon. Heat index values approaching 100 across all of southern Wisconsin, and that's because of the combination of high humidity, dew points mid to upper 70s in some cases. It's not common in southern Wisconsin, and those temperatures near 90. Plan ahead, light clothing, know where your cool spots are. Limit your time outside, get into that AC, or have a plan to get into the AC at points during this warm stretch. Have that fan and hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Speaking of hydrating, there's no water in Dane County right now coming from the sky. We have one lone shower off towards the north and towards the west of the Dells. It has popped up, got a bit briefly strong, and not severe, I should say, and now it's already fizzling out here along I-90. But if you're driving up towards Mauston, or if you're near Mauston and you're getting this heavy downpour, widespread severe weather, widespread thunderstorms, widespread rain is not expected this evening. More widespread chances, though. I said I'd track this with you. By noon on Saturday, could be looking at some scattered thunderstorms on and off really through much of the day on Saturday. What we're keeping an eye on is later Saturday evening, going into the wee hours of Sunday morning, a complex of storms moving south into southern Wisconsin. Damaging winds could be out ahead of this line of storms. And then we repeat it again after we prime up. We get hot, we get humid on Sunday. Another complex of storms moving into southern Wisconsin, painted by Future Track. And this complex of storms could also produce damaging winds. We've got a risk of severe weather across all of southern Wisconsin Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Better chances on Monday, Madison and points to the south and towards the west. These threats are flash flooding rains potentially across southern Wisconsin, but also the wind threat as well. Hail and the tornado risk, those are lower at this point in time. So 3 days of alert days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Temperatures upper 80s to lower 90s, but those heat index values eclipsing 100 all 3 of those days a possibility. After Monday, once we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, that weather system moves itself out of here, and those temperatures will then eventually fall into the 70s to near 80, which is actually a little bit below normal. So we'll go from alert day conditions to below normal by next week.
And coming up in sports, Belleville's own Lauren O'Connor is headed to Paris. What the Badger rower had to say about making her first Olympic Games. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Okay guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines of unlimited data for just $90. On top of that, you also get 4 free phones.
4 free phones.
When it's hot, all you want is some relief. Relief from the heat outside, relief from sleepless nights, and relief from big electric bills. Even your air conditioning unit needs some relief. So when you wrap your home with our premium injection foam, it's like putting your entire house in a cooler. It keeps the hot air out, the cool air in, and your electric bills lower. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
I'm coming to you live from Wisconsin, where the Wisconsin Lottery's newest scratch game is taking over. Let me tell you, this is big. Are you getting this?
It's Winning Streak, a brand new $10 scratch game. Match any of your numbers to winning numbers or reveal 3 identical numbers in a row. You could win up to $100,000. So cool. Now available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
How much I weigh is nobody's business.
But Eric Hovde wants to make it his.
Eric Hovde thinks that if you're overweight, insurance companies should charge you more.
There should be consequences to those personal choices. Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
Hovde would increase health care costs for 1 out of every 3 people in Wisconsin.
Eric Hovde, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
This is where all your dreams come true. You are the Moulin Rouge!
Madison's most spectacular night out is Moulin Rouge, the musical. Winner of 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The New York Times calls it dazzling, gasp-inspiring. In Moulin Rouge, life is beautiful. Now playing at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
Want to test drive U.S. Cellular's nationwide 5G coverage for free?
Here we go.
Hey, I wonder if U.S. Cellular lets me stream in my... Yep, it's working.
Download the U.S. Cellular Tri-Us app today.
For the first time since the 1992 Games, Wisconsin will have 4 women rowers competing in the Olympics. One of those Badgers is Lauren O'Connor. And the Belleville native's journey to the world stage is pretty remarkable considering she's relatively new to the sport. Lauren O'Connor will be the first to admit in high school she wasn't too familiar with rowing.
I would have been so confused. I would have been like, first of all, what sport are you talking about?
That's because she was busy playing volleyball or competing in track at Belleville.
Truly never paid any attention to it before that.
Well, that changed thanks to a friend who pushed her to give it a try at Wisconsin.
I was like, you know what? Why don't we go test this out and see if we like it?
And after walking on, O'Connor fell in love with the sport. And it turns out she's pretty good at it too. 4 years after graduating from UW, O'Connor found herself in Switzerland with a spot in the Olympics on the line.
I truly have never felt so calm in a race.
And with her parents watching, not only did her crew qualify for the games, but they won the race.
I don't even know where to go with that moment. It was so crazy. You finish the race and go over to the dock to take pictures and everything, and I got to hug them, and it was just such an awesome moment.
One that started all the way back in Belleville.
I got to do all kinds of sports. I got to do music and have a very rounded childhood and do all these fun things and still get to go to this level and come from a place that was I didn't have any experience in this kind of thing, and you can still make it to this point, and that's really cool.
And will end in Paris. So Lauren said her mom actually bought the tickets to Paris before she even qualified. Before she qualified.
A little bit of a gamble there. Paid off, though. All right, we are still awaiting President Biden's press conference from Washington for the NATO summit. We do understand CBS News is standing by, and they will break in as the president begins to talk. We'll be back tonight at 10.